Good morning. I wanted to make this video to share my thoughts and theories with some topics that I have found fascinating. I believe Lorne deserves the label of pedophile for what he did and what he's capable of doing. However, I want to explore why I believe Lorne is not a true pedophile, unlike many of the true pedophiles I did see on the show. Setting aside labels that have been tossed around frequently, such as psychopath and narcissist, I want to mainly focus on more of the actual characteristics that we see with Lorne. I want to first start off with an analogy I see fit with Lorne. Lorne is an opportunist. He's like a great white shark seeking weak and vulnerable prey. A great white shark is not what you saw in the movie Jaws, willing to take on fishing boats, or fight anything in its path. A great white shark is actually a coward. It will seek prey that is weak and vulnerable. It avoids any risk of harm to its own self. It will execute strategic attacks by gaining speed from deep depths and then breaching the water as it attacks its prey. Many people have survived shark attacks by fighting back, punching or gouging eyes of the shark. When the shark senses any possible danger or harm to itself, it will swim away. Just like someone we know, Lorne and the great white shark have a lot in common. They are opportunists. They were cowards with no remorse, guilt, or shame. Lorne saw Kayla's innocence and vulnerability as an appealing and attractive target. Kayla was an excellent target for his manipulation, just like Durango Mango. I think I heard somewhere Durango Mango was elderly, so please correct me if I'm wrong on that. But a weak and vulnerable sounding elderly person would attract Lorne, like a shark to a floundering, injured baby sea lion. It's not necessarily about the sexuality with Lorne. It's about the opportunity to manipulate and to gain something. The end goal for Durango Mango was financial and Kayla was sexual. The scenario in both cases were very similar, with just different end goals for him. I do believe Lorne is attracted sexually to adult females of his age. Speaking on my experience in dating and relationships, in this day and age, women are generally independent, with strong opinions, and they're not afraid to voice their mind. They will question and challenge you. I believe Lorne is primarily attracted to adult women, but he is extremely insecure and thin-skinned when challenged or questioned. Just like his employment, he will get mad easily, and he will leave the situation. I think perhaps with his experience with his young nieces, he felt a sense of unconditional love, and he was not judged by them. He had never experienced this with an adult woman, and I'm sure most of the experiences he had with adult women didn't last very long. And could you imagine if Lorne speaking with an adult woman the way he did with Kayla, typing? I mean, they would call him a dumbass and a creep and get out of there. This is where I believe he may have developed a fantasy for underage females through his nieces. His nieces probably got excited when they saw him and believed everything he said. He would have made them believe he was going to be a famous singer. I'm sure he sang to his nieces and they thought he was wonderful. They probably never challenged him or made him feel inadequate. They fed his insecure and fragile ego unlike an adult woman would do. He starts off his chat with Kayla speaking about his nieces. He sounds really excited hearing her voice sounding so innocent. When, your normal person would hear Kayla and she sounds like a kid. She sounds like an innocent kid. And for Lorne to want to take advantage of that is very scary. It's very disturbing. But this was the sound of opportunity knocking for Lorne. What is so really disturbing of Lorne's is his diluted fantasy that he would manipulate and control Kayla through her 13 to 18 years of age when he could marry her. Kayla is a smart girl who would have had to give up sports, friends, dating, prom, after-school activities, to come home, racing home, to chat and view her 40-ish, bald, weird loser boyfriend with a 4-inch pecker. Did he really believe this? I think he was going to control and manipulate as long as he could, then skip out when challenged with anything, just like with Durango Mango. Did he really believe Kayla would give up college, a career, to be barefoot and pregnant, sleeping on the floor with Lorne. Was this Lorne's actual deluded, warped fantasy? Or perhaps this was Lorne's calculating attempt to manipulate Kayla into bed? I do believe Lorne is incapable of love. I also believe Lorne got excitement, satisfaction, and gratification from the idea that he could be damaging Kayla psychologically. My final topic I would like to discuss is Lorne's crying and breaking down at the bus. Lorne, when held accountable or busted for something he has done, will automatically see himself as a victim. Crying is just another one of his manipulations he has used so many times in the past. I'm sure he learned this from his first victim, his mother. During the police interview, he looked like a 9-year-old boy busted in the principal's office. I believe Lorne was like the end of the movie Psycho, when Norman Bates was in the state of his mother sitting in the cell. He says to himself, I will let this fly crawl all over my face, and they will see I couldn't even hurt a fly. And I think the fly even crawls over his eye at one point. And I think you could use the same thing for what Lorne did. You know, Lorne put on a big sad show until he realized the police interviewers were not buying into it. He would be going into jail. He sat in that interrogation room before he was questioned, and he was sitting there weeping. And I really believe he knew that they had eyeballs on him, and he was going to use that crying as manipulation. And then he asked them, you know, will I be going to jail tonight? And you could see Lorne's senses that the interviewers, the interrogators were not, you know, they were looking to build a case against him, and he realized that there was no manipulating them. And at that point, Lorne asked for an attorney. So thank you for listening. Those are just some topics that I wanted to throw some of my theories at, and I would really love to hear anybody else's theories or comments that you might have. And thank you for listening.